this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't stop, just give it up. Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop, just give it up. Don't stop. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop, just give it up. Don't stop. Love the chase and the hunt.
What up, Nine?
When I'm running, I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need
Trapaholics Mixtapes.
As the 9% and word would say, make a better you, a better us.
professional. Give them what they ask for.
Who do you think you are? I'm the word. Boy, I'm the one who put in the work.
When I move, it's in a quick rumble. I will never ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.
What up, though? It's the word. You see the title. We about to get into it. But before we get into that, do me a favor, hit that like, and if you new, hit that subscribe. It's for you, but it mean the world to me. And let me get into the chat. Didi, what up, though? Didi, 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 Didi. What up, though, Didi? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Edward, my bro, what it do with the business is, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Hey, I ain't really had nothing to talk about, but I was talking about this to a friend of mine, and we had this discussion before. We have it like every 4 or 5 years. He's doing good for himself, but we came from the same space, so um, and I come from that school of thought. Wealth equals happiness, right? But I'm not what people may consider wealthy, but I'm very happy. And I had a large sum of money a couple of times in my life, and it didn't make me happy. You know, sometimes you stress about getting more money. That shit is stressful. When you got money, you worried about keeping it and getting more of it. So that can bring stress into life. Just like being broke. When you broke, you stress about not having money. But when you have money, sometimes you stress about keeping the money. So my question to people is, what's more important to you? Wealth or happiness? The panel is open. Link is pinned to the top, I believe it should be. Feel free to hit the link. We're here for a good time, but hopefully not a long time. But if it is, then it is what it is. Right? We're here for a long time, that's fine too. But definitely here for a good time, good conversation. So I appreciate any participation in the chat or in the link. And just give me your thoughts. What y'all think? Do wealth equal happiness? Uh, I don't even think it's the wealth that equals the happiness. I think it's the experiences you can have with wealth that leads to happiness. I don't think it's the actual finances. I think it's more the experiences that it can bring. And sometimes either wealthy people don't have those experiences, right? Um, think about it, like if somebody wealthy, single, or wealthy with a family that have a different experience, you know. And like I said, is what people desire the wealth for. It's never really the wealth, it's what the wealth brings. Some people want wealth for the status it brings. Some people want wealth for the power it brings. You know, some people want wealth for the accessibility it brings. You know, so people want wealth for different reasons, and people use wealth different ways. Some people use their wealth to party. Some people use their wealth to for security. Some people use their wealth to become more wealthy, to build wealth. Everybody got their own desire of why they want wealth. And I think it's those desires, when they reach those desires, that's what the happiness, that's where the happiness comes in at. It's not from the wealth itself, but what wealth brings. So, do I believe wealth can lead to happiness? I do. I know it. I know it can. But I don't think wealth is happiness. It's still, even after you get wealthy, it's still what you do with it. You see some wealthy people, they happy. Some wealthy people miserable. You know, why is that? Because wealth is happiness. It's not about the wealth; it's the experiences that the wealth can bring, or it's what is how you identify the wealth also. Because I think I'm very well, in the sense of my happiness. I don't need for things, and even if I do need something, I can always obtain it. Either I mainly obtain it myself, or I get people around me willing to help me. So That's wealth to me too. Having good people around you. So when you're in a time of need, you can be you have that. That's wealth to me too. Having because everybody don't even have that. People don't have people they can depend on. I do. So I feel wealthy in that aspect. So that in itself right there, you know, is perception. So now we talking about what is wealth. People generally when we say wealth, they think of something financial. And that's why I use that word instead of saying rich or money. I use wealth, you know, just to identify uh, the difference between happiness and wealth, and really to clarify or delineate on what wealth is. Some people are wealthy and don't even know. People got some amazing people around, willing to take a bullet for them and everything, and don't even recognize it. Take them people for granted. They pay for things that's undesirable to them. People will start chasing people who don't want them and not appreciate the people who do. So it be people be wealthy all the time and don't even know how wealthy they are. Just having good people around, having dependable people around, having genuine people around. You ever been in the midst of snakes? You have more than one person around you trying to stab you in your back. That shit's stressful, man. And it be sometimes it be your family, bro. So it's like even when you go home or when you go in a place of comfort, like around family, you're supposed to feel safe. And sometimes that's where we get the most violated from. It's from the spaces we supposed to feel safe in. So to have that shows how wealthy you are. Just having good people around you. Just having good people around you, man. It shows you how wealthy you really are. So yeah, you might not get the big house or the fancy car. That don't and people with that stuff, sometimes people be in a big house alone. They gotta throw parties and pay people to come around them, spend money so people will come around them so they won't be alone. I know people like that. I know people who got so much money they don't feel comfortable around people in general because they don't know who around them for them and who around them for the money. So they just rather have nobody around them. They don't trust nobody because they think everybody trying to get them for their money. You think that's that's happiness? That's not that don't lead to happiness. You so paranoid because you got money and you don't know who around you for the money or who around you because they love you. Now if you broke and there's people around you, shit, what's the ulterior motive? You know that they love you. That's why they dealing with your broke ass, right? We know that. We know if we broke and there's people around us. We know they love us because we broke. We ain't really got nothing too much to offer, right? We ain't got too much to offer, but these people still rally around you. So you know you just good. You might not have finances, but maybe it's your character. And these people just love you because you're dependable, you're honest, and you're not afraid to be you. But when you rich and got money, everybody kissing your butt. Everybody being nice to you. Everybody showing they love you. And you don't know what's genuine and what's fake. That shit can be stressful. That shit can be stressful. So is that gonna lead to happiness? Often on these I I being around wealthy people. I had a friend tell me this before. You can always tell who had money and who hasn't had money because of the way they talk about money. And I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, because a broke person to think having money will make their life better, and a rich person think not having money, think they like make it think their life would be easy. I'm like, damn. Well, what do you mean? He was like, it's hard to make money and keep money. Both of them is hard to do. Make money and keep money. But once you made it, you're stressing about keeping it. He said that's a whole different stress. So it's the way people talk about money. A lot of times, rich people think life would be easier if they didn't have money. While you got poor people thinking life would be easier if they had money. So by the way people talk about money tells you their experience with money. It's a whole different set of problems. Different set of problems, but problems are still problems. So I mean, at some point, but it's life. It's life. You have to experience it. It's easier to say something, especially if a person hasn't experienced. Person been broke their whole life. That's why when you see like people, first thing they do when they get money is to do all the things or get all the things that they never thought they would, ever have. Go buy big houses, luxury cars, and not realizing it because they never had money. Like them big houses, they have bigger expenses. Those luxury cars, they have bigger expenses. I told myself I'd never buy like a Mercedes, a Lexus, none of those cars. You know why? Because it's a bitch to fix them, and all cars break down. I don't care what nobody says. All cars break down. So after working on them, I realized like, nah, man, I'm straight. I'm straight. Most I ever do is probably a Cadillac or a Lincoln. Them American made cars are still expensive to fix, but I can get the parts easy. The parts ain't hard to get. Mella, what
Hey,
up?
hey there. Thank you so much for welcoming me. Uh,
Always,
this topic
always.
is amazing. I just tuned in, so I didn't catch up with what you think. I'm not going to ask
You,
you to repeat
you,
it. I'll
you,
just figure it out.
you roboting a little. You're going a little in and out.
I'm Borgen. Should I come back?
Yeah, drop down and come right back up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, shout out to Mella. Mella be right back, y'all. I love when Mella come up. 'Cause she really be focused on the topics, and that's why I be having these conversations because I have a perspective myself, but I only have my own personal experience, and I love Mella's energy and I love her point of view because she lived, man. She done lived. She done seen some things and did some things, been some places. So her insight is very unique. I love it, and I just love the way conversation between me and her flow too. We just waiting for Mella to come back, but yeah. Um, Yeah, I mean, it's experience, man. And when I realized it wasn't really the money that I wanted. I wanted what the money can get me, and what it can get me is the experiences that I desire. Right? I like going on trips. That costs money. It costs money to travel. I like a nice home. That costs money. I want to be able to wake up and open my side door, let my dog run in the yard. That's living, man. That I love that experience. I love going outside in the backyard with the kids playing. I love that experience, man. That costs money. It definitely costs money. Even doing real estate, I realized like before I did real estate, I ain't gonna lie to you, I wanted a mansion. After doing real estate, I'm like, I don't want nothing. Look, I'm straight. I just want nice amount of space where I can do my thing in. We can move around. I'm cool. I'm cool with like 2,200. I ain't even got that yet. But that's probably the most I want to go is 2,200. I think my wife said 2,500 square feet. But the most I want to go is 2,200. And I just know that from like, being around HVAC, just knowing like, working on houses too, understanding how much wattage and voltage I'm gonna need to run shit in my house. I'm going solar panels. I was gonna get it on this house, but when my wife decided to move, I'm like, I'm straight. I'll just wait till we get our new house. I'm going solar. I'm going solar. I'm getting me a metal roof and I'm going solar. I don't want um I don't need that too much space. I don't think I live on more than 2 acres. You give me an acre and a half, I'd be happy. Because all this stuff take maintenance, man. It costs money to maintain it. See, people just generally think about getting something, but they don't really focus on maintaining something. Even in relationships, you get a wife, you get a girlfriend. Okay, how do you maintain it? People don't think that far until they're in the midst of it. I had to learn how to think. Well, I ain't gonna say I had to learn. Like when I hit 30, my 30s, I started thinking about how to maintain what I obtained, and I even went about getting things differently because it ain't always best to get things the fastest way possible. Because sometimes you ain't prepared. Once you get it that fast, you ain't prepared to maintain it. You ain't got things in place to maintain it. You can go out and spend all your money on a car, right? But you ain't got no money now to put gas in it, the maintenance. You buy this expensive car. Just miss you too, baby. You want to say hi? You can say hi.
Hi.
Why you at just that? You supposed to be asleep.
Teachers, I'm not sleepy.
You not sleepy?
No.
No. Ain't you going with mommy in the morning? He gonna leave you. You better go to sleep. Don't act like you sleep right here. Oh, goofball. You supposed to be asleep. I thought we would go get up and do some stuff tomorrow. We going on our walk. We might have to stop and get a new cause y'all done messed both of the bug catchers up. All right, go lay back down. Must finish some stuff. Love you.
Love you.
Tell them bye bye. Tell everybody bye.
Bye bye.
And that's deep too. That's,
That's right.
I know y'all broke it. Y'all broke that one.
What?
Go put it on the table. I fix it.
I don't listen.
Oh, yeah, I lost the back of it. My bad. You there, Mella?
Yes.
Mine? Mine shit.
Take your butt to bed. I ain't talking to you. Go to bed. Why you throw that on my gone fish?
Mine was for black.
Oh my God, these kids, bro. I told my wife I am not negotiating. I told her I need to go learn some new negotiation skills. Dude. Like talking to these kids, bro. I probably have a better time negotiating with Al Qaeda.
Mm,
755. What up, though?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I
I'm sorry,
remember.
go ahead.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah, I can hear you. It sounds like a little better. Are you on your phone?
Yes, I am.
Do you have a Bluetooth or is it just a regular phone?
It's just a regular schmegular phone.
Because I was about to say sometimes, like I know when I was on my phone, they tell me to turn my Wi-Fi off, and like sometimes when I turn it off, turn it back on, it become clear.
I turned
But
the
that's when I'm
okay.
sorry. Go ahead.
I closed the tabs. Let me close this tab. Okay, here we go. Let me see. Maybe that helps. Sometimes people have too many tabs open. I don't know. let me turn this volume up. I'll do that. I learned how to do that. Um,
You sound better.
okay.
Like every now and then, it'll
All
sound
right.
like a robot. Every now and then, but before it was doing it consistently. So now you sound better. I can hear you. Yeah, we
Okay, I
good to
hope
go.
so. I hope so. Yeah. Yeah, I like what you said about children. They, without knowing childhood development, studying it specifically, it's it's a it's a knee-jerk reaction to their whimsicalness, you know, because that's the nature of them discovering their world. Uh they're just being their sweet little selves, even though it doesn't seem like it sometimes. You know how like a little baby accidentally stomps on a man's lap, trying to fill out their legs and stuff. You can't tell a man the baby didn't mean it, but actually the baby didn't mean it,
Hmm.
you know, but just take a deep breath, understand that you're more intelligent than they are, and give it a moment, before. But yeah, having a schedule like a bedtime schedule, just having something you can rely upon for your peace of mind, that's really important. I didn't do that properly, um, especially when video game consoles came out. On the weekends, I would, he just had at it. And when I look back on it, I should have, I could have been more um, feverish in instituting a schedule and a regimen and other. Well, I mean, he did participate in activities. He wasn't just, in the house playing video games all the time. But I'm not gonna lie, you know, when it came to Friday nights and he wanted to play, his video console, I went to sleep and I would wake up like at 3 o'clock in the morning and he's still playing it and I didn't say nothing, and that's shameful, you know.
No, 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 no. Let me give you another perspective too, because
Okay.
especially in the time you was ready to, so it wasn't like all this online stuff now, like it is now. But think about this, man. You got a kid, a male, a black male in the home on a Friday night playing a video game. Guess what he ain't doing? Getting in fucking trouble. I mean,
That's
so you're
exactly
like,
that's the way I look at
I'm
it.
gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you this too. A part of this conversation I was gonna have a little later, but right there, I mean, I think you just gave me the key to talking about it. But a lot of times, like the way you looked at it, a lot of times our gifts be our curses, and our curses be our gifts. At one time we may look at something one way, but the more time goes past, we understand like, hold on, it actually has something positive to it too. Like it worked out this way because like I hear like my mom said that to me one day, like because I used to be up playing video games. I'm trying to beat Final Fantasy. I'm up for a whole up like she go to sleep at 8 o'clock. She wake up at 8 o'clock and guess what? I'm still playing the game, trying to beat it. But you know what I wasn't doing? I went out there in trouble. When I stopped playing the game, guess what I was doing? Out there in trouble.
Looking
Drink
for the
all
action.
the time to drink. You
Looking for the
know,
action.
yeah. I'm looking for that. I remember when she took my video game. You know what I did? I waited till she went to sleep, climbed out my window, and went to party. But when I had the video game, guess what I wasn't doing? Climbing out the window, going to party. I
Uh-huh.
was bored. I had nothing else to do. So shit, I'm out. She sleep. She ain't gonna wake up. I'll be
Uh,
good for like 2 or 3 hours. That's how I thought. Like, I'll be good for 2 or 3 hours. She wouldn't know. My stepdad is drunk. He don't care. Shit.
yeah, that is a different way to look at it. As long as they're occupied in the house, they're not outside the house getting in trouble. That's a good way to look at it.
And I'm gonna tell you, like a lot of my problem solving skills, I got that shit from video games, man. It's some video games, like the games I play actually taught me some stuff. It wasn't just me, distracting me. No, I was actually
Mhm.
learning shit from it.
Yeah,
So that was a benefit for me. I mean, like I said, some things can be gifts and curses, man.
yeah. I
Oh,
heard
it's
you can
different.
develop your
It,
strategic skills playing video games. So
uh-huh.
that's cool.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's good and bad in it, man. Like it's like this YouTube thing, man. Like when I first came on here, I was I didn't I didn't really get in no trouble, but I could have. There's a couple situations where I could have went left, and I chose not to. I just stepped away, but I went in with the mindset that it has positive and negative. I didn't just come in like thinking like, oh, this is this. No, I every experience that I encounter in life, I know is a positive and negative. So when I start seeing one more than the other, I know when to disengage. But if I was on YouTube probably about 10 years ago, I'd have been tearing this bitch up, boy. Because there's not a lot that people can attack me with. My jacket clean, so it's like, oh, I can talk all this shit, and y'all can't. Oh, I can do this, but it's like that's not being productive, you know. And at that time, I ain't had kids, so I didn't really care about setting an example, so I can act an ass online. Right now, I ain't about to do that. My kids gonna see this one day. Uh, I got younger people in my family to watch it. I got people who really look up to me. So I had to portray. I'm not even gonna say portray. I have the responsibility to project a certain image.
That's really noble because I took for granted with my son being an adult, I didn't have to worry about any pushback regarding my behavior. And so yeah, there were a few, more than a handful of times that I've acted like a Mississippi donkey on here. And I would just say that I'm not into YouTube like I used to be. Um, um, I've obtained, I've reintroduced myself to hobbies that I like. So it's not this whole, I got to keep up. What's the latest chaos going on? Oh, let me get in on that argument. I realized that there was a part of me that I had to reconcile with that was addicted to chaos, right?
Mhm.
Because in my algorithms, I tend to have subscribed to those types of channels in the past, right? And ironically, I was just looking for nutrition channels, but I got introduced to somebody who likes nutritional information, but they also like chaos. And so then I started mingling with their channel, and it evolved from there. Next thing I'm I'm in a whole algorithm of what they call Black YouTube talking crazy, and I'm talking crazy right along with them. And I don't how can I put this?
It's an experience, man. There's no point in
It
regretting
was
an
it was it
experience.
was a
You
new,
know,
yeah, it was a new technology that fascinated me. It was like, wow, I'm having interactive conversations with people who are developing these narratives like it's a soap opera. This is
yeah,
amazing.
it's like an interactive soap opera.
It was
That's what's so
amazing.
addictive about it. Yeah, it's addictive. Look, man,
It was an
chaos is
interactive
necessary.
soap opera. This entire Black YouTube experience, that's what it has been. And I have developed an affinity for anybody that I've exchanged pleasantries with, right? At the same time, I know that a lot of people fell off. They got tired of it. It's not doing it for them anymore. And not to mention, I've turned off my notifications, period. And so I don't really engage in YouTube as often as I used to. But there was a time, man, I was always able to find somebody live, always. And it just kept it going, kept it going, kept it going, kept it going. And, you know, like I said, I've conducted conversations with people for a number of years, and it's just tripped out how time has flown by. So have I experienced a wealth of experience? I would say so, because I've learned patience now that I didn't have before. Now, out in my reality, I can conduct patience, right? Like if someone irritates me, I pause for the cause to determine if the confrontation is worth it. I'll put it that way. On YouTube, I didn't pause for the cause. I went straight for the confrontation. And what I've learned is that I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. And but
In that
also,
aspect too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I've also learned how to cuss somebody smooth the fuck out effectively,
Mhm.
more so than I ever thought I was capable of. Without um without hesitation, and I'm pretty good at it, but I don't like to do it. If that makes any sense. Like I'm good at cussing
You,
somebody out, but I don't like to do that.
you have it in your repertoire. If
Hey,
necessary.
if I got to pull
You
that out
know.
my back pocket, I got it. It's just that's not like when I think about some of the cruel things I've said to people. I'll put it this way: I believe in somewhat in karma, right? And I just want to guard my words better at this point. I just want to guard my words better. It's like, you can't go around cussing people out to the extent that some of us are capable of without it haunting you. It's like, damn, what type of person says that to somebody? You know what? I told a guy, well, I'm not going to get specific, but I've said some very, very foul, disturbing things to people, which in essence aren't funny, but I guess that's my nervous, my defense mechanism to laugh about it. I've accused people of being morbid, when I don't know them from a can of paint. I've called people names, all types of stuff. And it's not that I'm repenting. It's just that when it comes to this word happiness that you have in your live stream, it got me contemplating on what I actually think happiness is. Because having experienced like a lot of money before, you know, and everything in between, I would say that when it comes to wealth, and I do mean wealth with a capital W, I think it's best to have access to a pleasant amount of abundance than, and then try to, like, because happiness is a trip. It's like there are people that are happy and they don't have abundance. I just think abundance makes it easier. If I had to choose between wealth or happiness, I'm gonna pretend like they're synonymous. And that's my slick ass way of answering that. That's my slick ass way of answering that. It's like, you know, what's more important to me, wealth or happiness? What's chiefly important to me is my health. But however, with this question in mind, I think they're synonymous, to be honest with you. Like what kind of happiness can you have without resources to attain at least a pleasant amount of abundance. Like, what is life without pleasantries? You know, I mean, life is difficult enough as it is, and then you're gonna add poverty on top of that shit? Hell no. So if I got a choice between, you know, you know, because wealth is wealth. We know what wealth is. Wealth is the hedge of protection, otherwise known as money. And then you got happiness, which, if we're dealing with the opposites, that means there's no hedge of protection. And I'm not interested in that type of struggle. You know, can you buy happiness? I don't know. Because having experienced opulence, it's not all it's cracked up to be, because there are responsibilities, right? You know, you you know, being an
Mm.
adult, just things that make it appear that you living right. There are responsibilities that come with that. When you just actually want to lay back and not worry about anything. And so, like, you know, what they say, more money, more problems. It's kind of like that. You got more problems when you got money, but man, at least you could take a break every now and then. If you don't have any money or wealth, you gonna always, your focus is to always try to obtain that. So I just found this title to be fascinating, because it's like, are you really happy if your goal is to access wealth in the first place? Are you really happy? No, because you're chasing wealth. That's kind of how it goes in this country. Really, all over the world. People would prefer to be wealthier than what they are, even though they are currently happy. They're currently so-called happy, but they would prefer wealth. And I wouldn't be mad at them. So that's my statement, as in terms of contributing my thoughts to this topic. Um, thanks for listening.
Oh, for sure. Anytime. And let me shout out Commander real quick, the lady of the night,
Hey,
Administrator General of
lovely,
Defense.
lovely one. Hey.
What up, though, Commander? And I know you said you didn't catch the beginning, but that's what I was alluding to in the beginning. I was saying that wealth can lead to happiness, but happiness is not wealth. It's more the experiences that wealth brings that creates the happiness. It's not the wealth itself that makes people happy. It's the experiences they can have with wealth that makes people happy.
The
And
access
when
to it. Okay.
yeah, and so when I think of wealth, like even by definition, it's abundance of something or money. It can be money, but it's really the abundance of something. And when you look at abundance, the definition, you see is a large amount of something. So sometimes you see poor people happy. Well, why is that? Because they might not have the money, but they might have an abundance of something else, like genuine love from one another. Like imagine that you broke with somebody, and no matter just because you broke, they still love you. They still treat you like you rich. That shit has to feel great. Like, yeah, we might not get money. We might live in a little house or a little apartment, but we got each other. Like with my wife, I'd be willing to live in a box with my wife, and I'd still be happy. As long as she's with me, I'd be happy. I'll find a way to be happy. As long as I got her. And that feeling right there, it drives me to get more abundance of things because I'm in a happy state. Now I can go out and function and do things with a positive mindset and attract more positive things to my experience. And that's how it's been. Like with my wife. I had a lot of money man, I ain't even gonna tell you how much money I blew, but I didn't know nothing about money. So to me, that the experiences that I wanted was to party, have fun. I thought that would make me happy. but it didn't. Man, I blew so much money. I remember one night I went out and blew like 30K in like 3 hours. Just
That's a
partying,
lot
just
of
drink.
money, man.
That's a lot of fucking money, ain't it? I mean, you realize this the man, we did it so big that night, and I always have that. But even that experience, like I tell you happy parts about it, man, I can tell you some fucked up parts about it. You know what
That's
I'm
what I'm
saying? But
saying. Like even with the memory, right? When you look back on it, wouldn't you rather just have that 30K in your bank account right now?
hell yeah, I don't
That's
even
what I'm
deal with.
saying.
Look, check this out.
Cause you
Look,
ain't
I'm
the
not
only
over
one that done
exaggerating.
blew some money, man.
Listen, I took at least 15 people out with me that day. Do you know I don't talk to none of them today? And that wasn't nothing but like
And
maybe
that's
10
how it
years ago.
goes.
Not one person do I have a conversation. Since I lost my eyesight and been through the shit I've been going through, I haven't, not one of them people contacted me like, hey, how you doing? One of them almost got me a fucking Fed case. So, so no, man. Like, this shit ain't all what it's strapped up to be. I mean, but to go out and blow 30K and not hurt, not be worried about the money, it wasn't even, I didn't care about the money. I can go make more. At that, man, I ain't even about to get into that, but
That's one
that
way to look
money,
at it. But
I was,
it would be sure enough nice if we knew better.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, if I knew what I knew now, man, I would have put all that shit in real estate. I would have
Straight
put
up.
all that shit in either stocks or real estate. 30K. I went out and blew. I mean, you getting like I remember we had five. No, we started off with 5 VIP tables. I ended up buying the whole dance floor VIP. That's 10 tables. On each table it was an Ace of Spades, a bottle of Ace of Spades, a bottle of Dom Perignon, and a fifth. It was either Hennessy, Remy. It was three liquors. I can't remember. Uh,
You ain't even gotta say it. I know how it
Cavassier.
was.
It was fish of those liquors and a bottle of shit Dom Perignon. Man, I spent so much money. Just the VIP table alone was 2 G's a table alone. Not even the drinks.
Now
That didn't include the drinks.
I didn't do it that big time, but there was a period of time where I was doing too much. I'll put it that way. You know, I was living my Louis Gucci Prada dreams. Um, and I look back on, I look at this stuff and I'm just like, I really would like to see that in my bank account. You know, it's just,
Mhm.
how can I put this? I just, as you didn't know the value of patience. It's like, you know, not being impulsive with it. Just because you got it
Mhm.
don't mean you should use it, you know? And I didn't exercise that principle. Like, just because I got it like that, that doesn't mean I should flaunt it like that. Um,
Do it like that, right?
yeah, it was tripped out because a lot of, I wasn't necessarily materialistic. What I realized with introspection, right, is I was trying to relive the opportunity to make up for the inadequacy I had when I was, in front of people that had it like that. Like, take high
Mhm.
school, right? I went to a high school where all these young people, my peers, were materialistic. So they were flaunting things that I couldn't afford, or at least I was too um, meek to ask my parents for it. So here you got these kids coming through like they Richie Rich, and they just black like everybody else. Yeah, maybe you got
Mhm.
some people that's got some professional parents over here, over there, but for the most part, you know, they was wheeling and dealing and scheming and cheating, to try
Mhm.
to flex with their wardrobe at school and their accessories and jewelry and stuff, right? I think a lot of them was selling weed, to be honest with you, which is, hey, you got to do what you got to do. I'm not judging. What I'm saying is, I didn't know the deal. I didn't realize that my sense of inadequacy was based on ignorance. Had I known that somebody showing up to school with a Gucci belt that costs $300 is because they selling weed, then I would have looked at it different. I didn't know that. I was under the impression that all these kids had, came from, you know, astute families. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking they came from, you know, wealthy families or something, but that wasn't the case. They just were fashion. They just intended to have a fashion show every day at school, and I wasn't in a position to keep up. So here it is, flash forward. I'm an adult. I can afford practically almost anything I wanted. And what did I do? I went ahead, especially when, classmates.com, when classmates.com came into the picture, right? And Facebook and all this other kind of stuff came into the picture. It was like, that was my signal to just show off what I could buy. And it was all in vain. I did it for vanity, man. And that's the shameful part of it. I did it for vanity. I didn't do it, for any other it's not like I didn't deserve what I did. It's just that the reason why I did it was wrong. I deserved what I did. I just did it for the wrong reason. I did it to show off. I didn't do it, because I deserve it, sort of thing. Because if I was under the mindset I deserve this, then I would not have overextended myself. Would you say that you overextended yourself based on you deserve it, or you were trying to show off? Because that's the
I don't,
difference.
I don't really overextend myself, from that standpoint is when I'm trying to show off. Then I go out my way to do some shit. But when I feel like I deserve something, then I don't even, there's no point in showing it or break because I earned it. It's mine. I mean, this is what I'm
Yeah.
supposed to have. That's how I look at it. Like I noticed that about my wife. Like when I buy her nice things, she don't show it off. She like purses and stuff, right? She a female. She like purses. I be looking like, man, I done spent like $300-400 on this handbag. I swear she only used it like 4 or 5 times. And she said not only use it for special occasions. And I'm like, but I
Yeah.
thought this would be something, because when I bought it, it was some exclusive shit. Right? And now it's like,
Yeah.
it's old, but she still, like, that damn thing was brand new. And she was like, no, I don't have to show off. Everybody know you love me. Everybody know you buy me nice things. So
Oh,
I don't have to show off. They
that's
already, because I used to do shit like, you know, like when we worked together, they'd be like, "Oh, he only an anesthesia tech." Like, okay, I bought her this brand new iPad, had that bitch engraved and everything, and delivered to her job. I used to get her flowers. And I was doing that to show off because y'all motherfuckers think I ain't got money. Like, y'all don't even know how much I make. Y'all looking at a position. Like, y'all don't know I made this position. Like, you got me fucked up. Like, I'm the man for real. Like, oh, okay. Like, what your boyfriend do? Oh, he work at Rocket Mortgage. He make okay, yeah, whatever. He don't make just because you put a suit and tie on don't mean you making money.
hmm yeah. And that wealth of happiness stuff, it's I like what Commander is saying, or what I'm reading Commander's comment. Um, I like that.
And that's what I was saying. It's more the experiences, man. So even happiness leads to wealth, like because usually when you're happy, you have an abundance of something you desire, and it's different. Like even wealth, people want money for different things. I was saying earlier, and you alluded to it too. Some people want money for security. Some people want money for access to things. Some people want money for status. Some people want money for power. People want the same thing for different reasons. And if you think about it, if you get the money, but it don't give you what you want, that it, you ain't gonna be happy. Like, you done bust your ass to do this and do that, and now you got it, and it's still not what you thought it was. I mean, I'm laughing because I did this also when I was younger, and I
Mm.
learned from it. But I used to want things that I seen other people happy with, and then when I got it, I never was happy with it because I thought it was something, one thing, and when I got it, it was something else. Like when you were
Yeah,
saying, more money, more problems, man. You know how
yeah.
stressful it is when everybody know you got money,
Managing,
and when
yeah,
everybody need it,
yeah,
they come right to your ass.
yeah. That's crazy.
That shit stressful, man. But when you ain't got money, you ain't got that problem. Ain't
You
nobody
know
coming
what's
to you
really bad?
asking for shit.
Wait a minute. You know what's really bad is when you gotta pretend like you ain't got no money. That's when you
Mm.
know it's bad. Because if they find out that you got it like that, then they just coming out. They just coming from everywhere. With their hand out,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what you gotta do is you gotta pretend like I ain't got it. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you. I ain't got it. You know. But you got to be careful how you say it because you don't want to curse yourself. You know, you want to keep your abundance, but you don't want nobody pestering you for something just because they think they can. That's a
Well,
truth too. Do you know how oppressive it is to pretend like you ain't got no money? That's
I, I
oppressive.
I can give you the perfect statement where you can tell
You want to buy
people
a nice
that
new
you ain't got
ride?
money.
Yeah. You
You
want to buy a
you just
nice new
tell
car,
them
but then
you,
they'll know
you,
you got some money. That's fucked up.
this, this is how you tell them. I ain't got it for you. I don't have it for you.
They
No, I
ain't
ain't
gonna
got
let
that for
that
you,
go
bro.
though. They ain't gonna let that go.
But shit, I'm gonna let their ass go. I ain't got no. Look, man, I'm a motherfucker. Man. I learned the hard way that if motherfuckers for you, they gonna be for you. If they not, then they not. So if you only around me for money, you ain't for me. You for the money. So shit, get done. Have a nice life. I love that. It was people only around me because of the threat I presented. And I guess you want to call that clout or status, but it was only people around me because they knew people wouldn't go fuck with me. But as soon as I lost my eyesight, or as soon as they felt I wasn't capable of what I used to do, they don't fuck with me no more. They don't fuck with me no more. Oh,
Yeah,
he can't even see how he go do this, how he go do that. Okay. I love being an underdog in life. That shit's so fun.
it is. It's a kick, and it gives you more opportunities of tranquility because you don't have leeches in your midst. You don't have
Hmm.
snakes in your yard. You know what I'm saying? You don't. It's a beautiful thing to be tranquil. It's a beautiful thing.
That's why
It's
I say
like
I live incognito. That's how I live my life. Incognito.
when you can trust what's around you, as opposed
Hmm.
to you know trying to manage who's who and what's what. I like tranquility. I like it.
I mean,
I've
it's
got
just a,
I've got just this phone that I'm on right now. This is not my cheap phone, but there are people in my past that have this number. And what I've decided to do was keep this ringer off at all times. And unless I see a voicemail message, I ain't thinking about it. Because this was the phone number that people contacted me through for a while, and it was really annoying to always hear this damn phone ring. And it didn't occur to me like just turn the ring off. The hell you need to get them phone calls? They only being nosy or asking you for something. You know,
Mhm.
especially when if you got a nice whip, you know, not necessarily you, but anybody. Danger, Will Robinson. They gonna call you and ask you what you're doing because they want access to your whip. They want access to,
Mhm.
you know,
Your house.
what you doing today, because they want to know if you can scoop them up. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck how you doing as far, excuse
Man,
my
look,
language, as far
I,
as how it can be useful for them. You see what I'm saying? And when you discover that about people that you thought was close to you, that's a really tripped out experience. That awakening is tripped out. Just like how you now realize that everybody that you sported they haven't bothered to reach out to you and find out how you're doing. Not even texted you, you know, like check out this comedy video clip. You know, something. They don't keep in touch, right? You know, it's because all it, you know, I guess because it's not our nature to be opportunistic, it was difficult for us to evaluate why we were so generous to people that didn't necessarily deserve it, as it turns out.
and sometimes you don't even evaluate it until you have a reason to evaluate. You know, that happens a lot of times. Until you get a reason to do something, you don't do.
And
And that's
then,
just part of life, man. I mean, that's just like what you were saying. You don't regret your experience online because what you gain from it. Like, okay, it might have been a lot of
yeah,
BS,
right.
but
I
guess
know
what?
that ain't gonna happen
You,
again, type of thing. Yeah.
right, but you gained from it. You became a better version of yourself because of that. If you never experienced it, you probably wouldn't have had that growth at this point in your life. It could have came later or it never came.
Or
So you
yeah.
see what I'm saying? So those experiences are important. It's how we analyze it and what we extract from the experience.
All right.
And you can have a terrible experience, but get something good from it. Like you said, you gain a whole nother level of patience that you didn't have before prior to this. So,
That's
I mean, you
correct.
got something from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what's up. That is what's up.
It took, like you said something else, you know, about accepting things. And it took me a long time to accept this ideology of there's no such thing as good and bad. But once I accepted it, it's not the fact that ain't no good or bad in this world, it's how we perceive it is good or bad. So that's why I tell people sometimes what's good is actually bad for you. You may not see it until later on. And what's bad for you, what you think is bad for you right now, may be good for you later. You might not see it until later on, but it is. This experience is a bad experience to go through, but what you gain from it is going to be beneficial later. And you can add to that. You know, it's preparing you for another aspect of life. The patience that you gain from dealing with these people on YouTube might benefit you 2, 3, 4 years from now, dealing with a whole new situation that you never experienced, but now you have a tool, that patience to go through the experience. Where
Mm,
sometimes, like just using me for example, before I had the level of patience I got, I used to get frustrated with things, and so I'd be like, "Fuck that, I'm straight." But once I gained that level of patience, I understood it was just a process. Okay, this is just part of the process. This is the growing pains in it. I didn't have the patience before to look at it like that. I just looked at it like it ain't working, so I'm gone. Like even this YouTube thing, like 10 years ago, if I was doing it the way I'm doing it now, I would have been like, "Fuck this, I'm straight. I do something else." But because I got the patience, I'm sticking with it. You know, I done seen my chat go from 3 people to 20, and I'm thinking I'm on my way about to start gaining a larger audience. Go back down to 3 people, you know, climb back up to 15. I ain't break 30 yet. 30 yet in one chat. Ain't breaking. I'm still doing it. There's a lot of people who quit, but I know I'm gonna say the right thing or do the right thing, and that's when it's gonna blow it. But until then, I'm gonna have the patience and just keep
mhm.
practicing and defining my art, my craft. That's what
I
it's
mean,
doing. It's giving me the opportunity to define my craft, so when I do get the big audience, I'm prepared for it. because a lot of people get the big audiences, don't know what to do with it. I
Are
don't want
you
to be one of
promoting
them.
yourself?
Am I who?
Are you promoting yourself by visiting other panels
Not
and
right, like not right now because I don't have I can't invest the time that I want. Like
oh,
that's what I said. Like
that's
right now,
understandable.
I'm using this to define different parts of my craft right now. You know, because I can't invest the time that I really want to invest into it because my kids little. The only time I really got to come on is at night. When I'm able to come on either in the morning or the afternoon, it's gonna be totally different than what I'm doing now. But right now, this is giving me the opportunity to for
Yeah,
the
fill it out.
speaking aspect, to control the panels. I mean, it's just giving me an abundance of opportunities to get better at doing different things. So, but when I got the time, oh, trust me, this shit gonna take off flying.
Okay, that's
'Cause
beautiful.
yeah, because I like even right now, it's people begging me to get on TikTok. I did a couple panels on there. They like, when you going live? When you going live? Like I didn't blew up with subscribers over there. I only had like 19. I got like 400 now. Probably more than that. I don't know. I don't even check it like that. But I just went on 2 panels and I got hundreds of subscribers overnight. And people inboxing me like, when you gonna go live? When you gonna
Yeah,
go
you
live?
can let them know when you going live on TikTok that you could let them know on TikTok that you're going live on YouTube. I think. I'm not sure.
When I when I
Cause
get down in my studio, I'm gonna be live on like 4 different sites at the same time. I just
oh,
got my dual monitor. I'm about to go buy another camera.
really?
I'm about to go buy a whole nother monitor because YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook I can do all on one thing. TikTok and Instagram I can do on one thing. So I'm gonna have like different streams going simultaneously.
And that is
I just need
abundance.
the setup. Right now I'm on the laptop, so I can't do all that on the laptop. But on my studio setup, oh, I'm gonna be everywhere. Y'all gonna get tired of me.
That's abundance. All right. Yeah. I it's I'm not interested in doing that for myself. Um I'm sometimes I have been pressed to the point where I would imagine it like, yeah, I could see myself, being a YouTuber and on different other platforms and setting up a studio and all this equipment. And then I just think about my age and
No,
I'm
don't let
tired.
that.
I don't feel
Yeah,
like doing all
don't.
that.
Yeah, it's a job though. It's definitely a job.
Like I'm
And if you
tired.
approach it any different way, you're not gonna be as successful. I mean,
I'm
you might
just
be one of them lucky ones. You know, people get successful or find
I
some
got a
sort of success
strategy in
just coming
mind.
on here bullshitting.
I
You
got a
know, but if
strategy
you gonna
in
be,
mind. Most
yeah,
definitely
but
got a strategy in mind. It's just that I'm not going to hire somebody to design my strategy. I would have to do it myself, which is going
and that's what I'm, and that's
that's
what I've
that's
been doing.
that's a
Yeah.
whole project right there. And it's just like, wow. And it's not that I couldn't do it. I really could. I just don't feel like it. What I feel like
Hmm.
doing is enchanting myself with my talent, skills, and abilities with some, you know, sewing projects, not with a sewing machine, but like doing something constructive in terms of designing, uh, altering, just doing, just I don't know how to confess this, but I am becoming increasingly fascinated with my creativity. Like I've done things, where you look at something and you're able to redesign it, refurbish it, alterate it. Like I am a creative person. I'm a very creative person. And it's just astounding me that I never paid attention to this side of myself. If I did anything that was innovative, it was in the interest of socializing with others. But now I'm doing it exclusively to find out where the creator it is guiding my sense of creativity. It's hard to explain. Um, I could take something like a spool of gold thread, you know, like literally shiny gold thread, and I could turn that into a ring, like not no, kindergarten, preschool looking ring, but like an actual like, oh shit, that looked like a gold ring. You know, it fascinated me that I was because I'm looking at this thread. I'm like, I could do something with this. I just don't know what yet. And time had passed while I just put you know a bundle together and braided it, put another bundle together and braided it, so on and so forth, and then bound it and formed it and figured out how to do this, that, and next thing you know, it looked like a damn ring. It was amazing. And I was
You
like,
put
if
that
I could
nut
do
in
that.
the
And then I made some fur boots, right? Um, I altered some t-shirts that, just with time on my hands, stuff just comes to me that's creative that I can do. I know how to paint murals,
I'm sorry, I didn't know. No.
paint paint murals and stuff.
Go.
Um,
No, we're not
I don't-
picking those. But
I hear background
they're
noise.
good, thanks.
Go lay your butt down, boy. You cannot pick that dog up. You get down off the couch. Down. No.
You got pets?
Yeah, I got a German Shepherd. Go sit down, baby. Come on, let's go outside. Come on,
He's trying to
come
pick the German Shepherd up.
on. Well, we got him when my son was little, so he was looking at some pictures on my phone and he was carrying the dog. And I'm like, you can't carry her big ass no more. The dog bigger than you now. Come
Yeah, German Shepherds
on,
get pretty large.
ah. Locked her up for a minute. She get mad. Hey, shout out to the average logical thinker. I'm gonna check out your channel. I just looked at it. It looked like you be going live. I'm gonna come through and check it out. But y'all
Hey,
go
y'all.
step up to it. Yeah, y'all
Hey,
go step up
everybody
to it.
out there in the chat. I'm just talking just to be talking. I'm sleepy, to be honest with you, but um, so I'm talking about a bunch of nothing at the moment. Like I'm talking about my sewing projects and stuff. How interesting is that? Not, but I'm just talking because I'm the only one up here with you, right? Um, I mean, if you want me to be entertaining, I could reach in my back
Man,
pocket and pull that card out. But for the most part,
you,
I'm just, a little tired. I saw you was live, and I just wanted to stop by and commend you on how thoughtful this title is. This is, it's going to make people think. People that run across it in the future, it's going to make them think.
yeah,
And I believe that's what your channel is about, making people think. And you contribute your
yeah.
personal stories to enhance that. I really appreciate your channel.
I
I just
appreciate that.
wanted
I
to come up
appreciate
here and
you.
say that.
I appreciate you even saying that because I'm not an entertainer. I do some entertaining things, but that ain't my goal. My goal is not to change nobody, but like you said, it's literally to make people think. And if I can just make people think, then um, I accomplish my goal in doing this.
I like,
Because
yeah,
most people don't know how they function on a subconscious level, and they don't know how their subconscious been programmed for them to even think. So if people start thinking for themselves, like my motto is a better you is a better us. You know, they asked me, I had somebody ask me one day, do you think you can change the world? And I told them, yeah, it's easy. It's easy. It's an easy concept. It's just hard to do, and it's just make better people in the world. That's how you make the world better. It's not the world that's fucked up; it's the people in it. So if you make the people better, then the world be better. That's how you fix the world. Is make the people better on an individual level.
That's fascinating. You know, I heard
That's
a live stream from a so-called motivational speaker. I respect him, don't get me wrong. But he said, if you want to succeed in life, don't hang around broke people. He was adamant about that. He was like, you are not
mm,
going to succeed in life if you are around broke people. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. But you got to acclimate yourself to that, because if you have an affinity for people that don't have that much, it's going to be hard to let them go. But at the same time, that makes sense. It's like, well, why are you hanging around people that don't aspire to the wealth you're trying to build? You know, it's like you're the time that you would be concentrating on buying property. You got somebody who's not accustomed to thinking that way. They just want to hang out and waste time. You know, they
hang
want
out,
to
get high, drink, take women,
when you
party.
all, you know, if they want
You
the
about that
level,
business.
yeah, if they were trying to do what you was trying to do, you all would be studying different strategies to acquire new properties. But that's not what they want to do, because they're broke and they don't understand how to think like that. So in that regard, I get it. But then you got an affinity for this person. Like that's your guy, that's your girl, that's your cousin, your friend, whoever. You know, that's you know, they make you laugh. They make you feel better when you don't feel so good. They just have a special way of touching your spirit that's immeasurable and priceless. And then so I got this motivational speaker telling me to let them go because they can't see the vision that I have. You know, I was wondering what you think about that. Is there a balance?
Well, for
Like
me,
maybe
I'm gonna
give
be
your
honest with you.
girlfriend Fridays and that's it.
I'm I'll be 100% honest with you. When people broke, I think like this. This is my advice. This is the reason I don't hang around broke people. It's not because they broke. It's because of the way they think. That's why I won't hang around. I can't be around. I can't allocate no time to people who don't have similar uh thinking as me, because it's gonna throw off my way of thinking. So I don't. I agree with them probably for a different reason, but it's not the fact. Like I've been around broke people who financially was broke, but they had an abundance in other areas. You know, so just because they didn't have the finances, it wasn't because they couldn't obtain it, because they still inspired to, have money. It was just they was going through some shit at the time. You know, I got one friend, I mean, he been broke most of his life. And just 7 years ago, he ain't been broke again. He just didn't have the opportunities. But when he got it, he ran with it. So his way of thinking, we was always trying to figure out how to get to the bag. And with him, that's why I love being around him. He'd come up with new ideas. We'd try it. It don't work. We'd try it a different way. We'd try it a different way. We'd try it at least 5 or 6 times. And being around him, that rubbed off on me a lot. Because before him, I looked at something like, damn, this shit ain't working. Okay. It just because it didn't work the way I thought it was supposed to work, don't mean it don't work. And that's how I got that understanding from being around him. He'd try things 5 or 6 times before he give up. And he'll just put it down for now and come back to it later. Maybe it's just not the right time for this to pop off. But I got the idea. I'm gonna hold on to it. Maybe 5 years from now, it'll be a hit. That's how he think. Well, who was like, yeah, he was broke, but he didn't think broke. So I don't like if a person I have to ask why they broke. Is it because of the way they think, or is it because of circumstances? A lot of us, you know, we might not have the finances where we might be in that realm of finance where people consider broke, but we don't think as poor people. We don't think as broken people. We still go out there and do our best to be our best. I can fuck with those people all day. I don't care if they got money or not. If they constantly thinking about how to be better, I fuck with them all day. But a person who just settle for mediocrity, I don't fuck with them. People who content with life, I don't fuck with them. I can't. I have to interact with them. I can coach you, but I can't be your friend. If you have nothing to offer me, you're a liability to me. I know I sound like an asshole, but that's what it is. I look at people, are you high or low liability? If you're high liability, I ain't fucking with you. Low liability, I can fuck with you. That sound kind of fucked up, but I agree with them, man. Don't if you aspiring for great things, don't look. You doing great can motivate somebody else doing great. So if you got a friend that's broke and they say you getting money, maybe you can teach them, or they'd be open to you teaching them how to get money, how to do it. But the people who, when you trying to make money and they trying to get you to spend money, I'm straight. I'm good. I'd rather be by myself. I had no friends. Friends like that. I don't see no. I just don't see a benefit. I mean, I don't think people are better than one another. I just think people do better. But if you're doing better, that's what make you better. So
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I know somebody just like that. Like, you know, she's she's wealthy in her mind, and she's designing her future
mm,
uh in a way that's accessible to her, one step at a time. It's not, she's not sitting around complaining about anything. Um
yeah,
like like I appreciate her for that, you know.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. She probably just ain't had her opportunity yet. But when she get it, she gonna be ready for it. You see what I'm saying? That's how life work out. Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. She's
I don't
definitely
even feel like
preparing herself.
I ain't had my real opportunity. I had lots of opportunities, but I haven't had my big opportunity. But when I get it, I'm gonna be prepared for it. I had a lot of opportunities. I just and I capitalized on them. That's where I'm sitting now. Comfortable, secure. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. But I want more. I inspire for more, and and it ain't just for me to obtain or have. It's for me to take care of people I love, my family. I wanna be able to buy my mom a big ass house and tell her she can chill. That's what I want to. I want my wife to chill. I want my sisters to chill. I want to be that guy to take care of his family. That's one of my biggest desires.
That would be great. Yeah.
That's one of my biggest desires. At one point I was and everything happened for a reason. Right before I lost my eyesight, I was fucking with this guy in Dubai buying properties in United States, and I was about to acquire 150 houses for him. And out of those 150, 50 of them was mine. I ain't had no cash or nothing to put down. This was all my compensation off of helping him with a deal. I was able to acquire 50 homes. Out of those 50 homes, I was putting two in each of my brothers and sisters. I got 8 brothers and sisters. I was giving both of them 2 houses to rent out, and I was go manage and take it. Only thing they was gonna get is passive income. And with those 2 houses, they would have been good, you know. Um, and the rest I was building my company with. So I was on track to do it. And then it's my brothers that took my eyesight from me. I was working hard for 3 years trying to. I had to establish this connection. I had to mature the relationship, and then I had to find the properties. It took me 3 years to do all that, and all that shit was wiped out in a matter of fucking minutes. All that shit was, and the people who did it was the people I was doing it for. That's the crazy shit about it. That's why I say everything happened for a reason. So imagine if this shit would have happened after I put the shit in their name. I'd have been like 10 times more pissed off. Like I'd have bust my ass to get you this and you did this to me. But you felt like this the whole time. I didn't know. You felt like this. I would have went about things differently. I wouldn't have been interacting with you. But this is my brother and sister. So I'm thinking like,
Yeah, it's your brother and sister, right?
yeah. I'm like, but it's always the people the closest to you who can hurt you the most. Always people. Them people your guard. I wasn't thinking they would do some shit like that. I'm the oldest. On my mom and dad's side, I'm the oldest. So I ain't thinking like they gonna do some shit like this to me. I never thought they'd do some, you know what I'm saying? And that's what showed me, you never know, you know, you never know. But ain't no spilled milk. It's just I got to go about it different. I did it before. I can do it again.
Absolutely.
That's the confidence right there. Like when you do shit, when you accomplish it, even if it fall down, you
I'll
realize
get it back and more.
I get that shit back in more. I already know that. That's why I say I'm just chilling. I got a new vehicle. I got the social media shit. I got a whole new vehicle. I did the shit in real life, going around building relationships, marketing myself. I did that shit in real life. It's even easier online. I just haven't did it yet because I'm not. I know I'm not ready. I know I'm not ready to put the effort and the time into it that I need to be successful, to be effective and efficient. I know, so I'm not going to put myself in the hole. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'll be doing right now. And I started to, and then when I realized, like, I got 2 kids, man. I'm the primary caregiver, if that's what you want to call it. They're with me most of the time. I have a disability. So I'm restricted from doing certain things. So I got to work it the best way I can. But right now, my time, I invest a lot of my kids. They 2 and 5. These are the years, especially my son. He's 5. This is
Oh,
where he's
they
so
just,
in
oh
game.
man,
You
that's
know
so
what I'm saying?
sweet.
And
That's
this is the time where
those
where
those
he's
are the
really
formative
developing.
years where
Yeah. So
their brain is like a sponge. They could be molded to aspire to things.
man,
I mean, just amazing things. They could be an astronaut. They could be a just a
anything
leader of nations. Like these are
like
the formative years.
like my son,
Their
he's so
influences
fascinated.
are going to be programmed in their subconscious, and they're going to be compelled to, for some strange reason, I want to be a master of the universe.
Oh, that I'm teaching my kids. I already told them to express it, and I'm
I want
showing
to
them every
be
day how
an
special they are.
ophthalmologist. I want to be a dentist. I
Yeah,
want to be, like,
I got I got them a telescope at 4 years. We've been looking at the moon and the stars for
oh
maybe two
yeah,
years now. Yeah,
there's a website.
right after his third birthday, I think I bought it for him.
There's a website called space.com that has a feature where you could check out what the sky is going to offer you every night. They tell you,
Yeah,
what planets are lined up and all that stuff. I just discovered it. It's really interesting. Like every day it updates you on what you can look forward to night watching. And it's called space.com.
So what we do is we take his tablet out, and the telescope I got, I can hook it up to my phone, and you can view it either through the lens or the image or project through the phone. So we go on that
That's what's
website,
up.
and that's how we know where to look at in the sky to find different. Like I'll be showing them different constellations. So that my grandmother bought me a telescope when I was young, so I've been looking up at the stars since I was like 5 or 6 years old.
Oh,
So
that's beautiful.
yeah, I've always been
I
fascinated.
found out when I was an adult, at least it was solidified in my memory because I'm pretty sure I learned it in high school or grammar school, but it was solidified in my memory. There are 88 constellations, and that didn't really register until I was an adult and I went to the planetarium in Chicago, and they had this room, right? And the way their projection screen is, it's like you're traveling through space. It's a really nice exhibit that they have there in Chicago at the planetarium, for people that are able to enjoy those visual, you know, exhibitions. But with you and your eyesight being hindered, what would you say is accommodating? What do you do to supplement your disability, if I may ask respectfully? Because
So is
to not be
I have
able to see
limit.
is something that I refuse to imagine for myself.
So I'm legally blind. I'm not fully blind. So I have
Okay, like my
limited
brother-in-law.
visibility.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So I can see out of one eye. Like my left eye is completely blind, but
All
out my
right.
right eye I can see. I just have no peripheral vision. So it's kind of
Okay.
like looking at it down. So I always been observant. So it's just I just gotta look more. You know,
Yeah.
it took me a while to really. I've never really looked down, like look down as I'm going. Always scan, like looking forward, and I
Mm-hmm.
always knew it was under my feet as I approached it. That's how I always looked at stuff. So I never really looked down. So I had to look down more. Uh, like the way I walk, I changed the way I walk. I used
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
almost mark when I walk, but now I got to kind of drag my feet so I can tell when the ground goes up or down or
Yeah.
is unlevel. And sometimes it depends. Like if I'm out on a big street, I use the cane so I can feel the depth. It's like my depth perception, so
Yeah, for safety
I know
reasons,
where
you have
things
to.
at. Like if there's something next to me, I touch it with the cane. So I kind of scan the ground with the cane
Mhm.
when I'm on a big street. But if it's somewhere that I like walking up into my neighborhood, I know how many steps. Like I walk 2 miles, like a mile and a half a day, almost 2 miles. And I can tell
Oh,
you
that's
how many
good.
steps from my house, from the time I leave to the time I come back, how many steps I took. I already counted it. I always, so I know like my pathway. So if something change, I notice it right away.
Okay, let me
And,
ask you
and
this.
and then I got my son. My son see what I can't see.
That's
So
right.
he helped me out a lot too.
Yeah. I was wondering, in that circumstance, rather would you rather choose your mobility, your full mobility, or your full vision, given
I
the
love that my
choice?
full mobility. Mobility.
Yeah, I
That's
think
great.
that's the best
I can
choice.
do it all. Some shit I don't want to see anyway, so I'm good. I
Yeah.
mean, it
My brother-in-law,
was.
right? He's
Mhm.
had glaucoma for a long time, and the way he described it, he said it's like looking over a black plate. Like he can see if he looks down and around and stuff like that, but it's his vision is just obscured, like maybe 80%, some shit like that. But he's walking around confident and got a great smile. He just, you could tell that he just has to look around to pay attention. Like for instance, money, right? Cash. He has to look down and around and make sure it's a particular, bill. And he needs help with certain things, of course, but just like you, he's legally blind. He's not completely blind. And that's,
Yeah, I'm completely
so
blind.
that in and of itself, coupled with that you have full mobility, is a good combination, as opposed to not having mobility and being able to see. It's like, you
Yeah,
know, not having mobility, because there was a time, right? Um, I'm not diabetic, but I did experience nerve impingement. right? In my leg. You know, I didn't stretch. I just wanted to see if I still got it because I haven't been athletic all my life. You know, I was feeling, kind of old, and I just wanted to see if I still got it. So instead of stretching with my old self, I just darted. I just did a hardcore run, like the cops was chasing me type of run. And I stopped. I was catching my breath. I was like, I can still do it. I was just really proud of myself. And of course, I woke up that next day and I couldn't feel my leg. And being a veteran, the instinct is to call the VA, somebody come get me, check this out. But all my friends who have passed on, from seeking urgent care from the VA, because what happens is they cater to the urgent need, but they put you on prescriptions that eventually lead to your demise. I didn't want to go out like that. So I just held on. I was just like, wait a minute. I'm not going to hit the panic button. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Google this. Can you imagine somebody Googling, what do you do when you wake up and you can't feel your leg? That's what I did. And after some really deep diving through all the neuropathy, you got diabetes, you gonna die, just all these scary things that were coming up. Eventually I ran across this chiropractic video that introduced the term nerve impingement. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But it coincided with this other term mentioned called billable diagnoses. And what I had discovered is there's a difference between a billable diagnosis versus what's biologically, otherwise known as actually wrong with you. Now, the billable term is neuropathy, right? That's what they're going to diagnose somebody. Like if not you, but if somebody goes to an emergency room, like, I can't feel my legs, somebody help me, and be like, oh, you got neuropathy, and your levels of this and that, and next thing you know, they putting you on God knows whatever that's gonna cause another problem for another pill to take, and another problem for another pill to take, and next thing you know, you got liver cancer and you're dead. But with with looking at the whole body, one discovers that there's a nerve impingement due to a nutritional deficiency. And all you got to do is rev up what nutrients you're missing out on, and you'll heal in no time. I even had one person that said, just don't walk on it. Just don't walk on it. That's stupid. Excuse my language. I don't like to use the word stupid, but that wasn't the wise. That's not the wise advice. It's about, having the mastery to physically rehabilitate yourself. And I did that. And I remember going to the VA reporting that, a while ago, I couldn't walk on my left leg. They said, well, you didn't come to the hospital? I said, well, I had reasons to try to investigate it for myself. They said, well, you're doing just fine now. I said, exactly. Because let the hospital system tell you you're not to think for yourself. And so this goes back to what we discussed earlier about how your channel features and encourage people to think for themselves. And I just wanted to give a testimony of how you can be successful in thinking for yourself. Don't rely on some damn person who puts pants legs on one leg at a time like you do to be your God. You know, just because they're highly educated, that doesn't mean that you're not aware of your own body. So when it comes to your ailment specifically, I can't speak of, on that. I don't have credentials, and I wouldn't dare to even say or assume that I have the privilege to address you in that way. What I will say is that I would like to think that you are eating well, resting well, and managing your stress well, so you can maintain the vision that you have remaining, or maybe even improve upon it.
One thing I'm not doing that my wife be on my head all the time is resting well. I don't probably sleep 3, 4 hours a day. I gotta stop doing that. As far as like nutrition and stuff, I used to be a personal trainer. I did that for a minute. Um, so I got a little I don't have a nutrition degree. I have a nutrition certificate. So like I used to be a vegan too. So I know how to get protein out of plants. So I don't even is I just started. I can eat a lot better, but I do eat good. I do eat clean. I can eat a lot better because I know better, so I can eat a lot better. But I'm about to get back on that. But
Okay.
I hate to cut this short. My son would
Yeah,
not
that would be cool.
waking my wife up. But I wanna talk about we're gonna talk about nutrition one night, and hopefully you catch that live.
Well, that's
I'm
my
gonna add to that
man. That's
because
my game. Nutrition
yeah,
is my
I'm
game.
'cause I'm getting back into it. Like I used to make like teas, like it was herbal tea though. Um, not from no tea bags. I used to get all the herbs, fresh herbs. Sometimes
Yeah.
I dehydrated my own herbs. I extracted the oil from my own herbs. So I was really about that life. So it'd be interesting to have that conversation with you. And like I said, I was vegan for a while, for probably about 5 years. I just started eating meat again when I got married. My wife and my mother-in-law,
Amino acids matter. Like
yeah, they
you
do.
know, amino acids are important. Straight up. I mean, you could choose your amino acids. It could be beef, um, exclusively, which is what beef and lamb. Those are my top preferences. But
Mhm.
just amino acids, man. Like it
Like
does
people use,
wonders.
I would like when I fluctuate weight like through the last like 10 years. I went from like two
And
eighty
don't forget
nine, and I was
cabbage.
went
Don't forget
when I was
cabbage.
when I was 189. I looked big. I looked huge. I looked like I was over 200 pounds. I was only 189. But even at 189, I was squatting like 435. I was squatting easy. I was bench pressing like 305 at 189. People used to be like, "How you that small but lift that much weight?" And I'm telling you, man, once you understand how your muscles work, how your muscles are built, and how to build them correctly, you'll be amazed how much weight you can load. Like I couldn't do it now. I probably can bench press probably about 235 right now. I probably can squat. I wouldn't try to squat 300 right now because my thighs ain't even right. Like my
Right,
balance ain't
right,
even
right.
right. My equilibrium off and everything. So I wouldn't even try to load that much weight. But I mean, for a young person, oh, I can get them paid. I can definitely get them paid. But let me get off here so I can put this boy to sleep. He keep coming out this room, and my wife texts me like, "You gonna come get your son?" Like, yeah, let me.
Enjoy your family and many blessings as always.
I appreciate you. And even if the link ain't dropped, if you come through and you want to speak, just tell me to drop the link in the chat and I'll drop it for you. I enjoy you coming up here having conversations with me. So you're always more than welcome.
Yeah. I'm glad I met you in respect and we maintain respect, and that's what's up. Like
Yeah.
there are people that, may still welcome me, but they remember exchanging some not so not so pleasant times. You and
Yeah.
I have a history of of good conversation. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my part
I
to
learned from
always
you.
maintain and keep it that way.
I, I,
You know,
I
I'm
learned.
I'm a very respect. It's sometimes where even people, and I'm not saying you, but it's been like people in the chat. They know people come through here and they be so disrespectful, and I give them a minute, right? I'd be like, man, it ain't even like that. Just chill out, bro. And then like once I'm there, I'm there. It's like once I'm there, it's like fuck you. You know what I'm saying? But it'll take me a minute to get there because I know we all human, bro. We gonna have good days and bad days, but if you just constantly disrespecting me and mine, then at some point I'm gonna cut it off. You ain't never did nothing like that. Like people ain't gonna see eye to eye or agree on everything. For me, that's expected. You know, I don't want to agree with everybody. I like hearing different perspectives because I can gain information that I may not have been exposed to. So just because we have a different perspective about something, if I shut the fuck up and listen to you, then I can learn something because I maybe
Mhm.
I haven't experienced what you experienced. So now you're giving me a whole different perspective. So just because I ain't experienced what you experienced don't make it wrong. And that's what, happens often on here. So that's why I just shut the fuck up and listen a lot of times because people, I mean,
And
I have
it's
friends that,
wise.
you know,
I'm learning that in fact is wisdom. Just
yeah,
knowing when not to say anything.
hmm
Just listen.
so
Listening is wisdom.
that's what it is. That's how you gain information.
Exactly.
One of my mentors told me, uh, and it's an old saying. After I never heard it until you told me, but after he said it and I repeated it, I forgot who they said originally said it, but he was like, "Be slow to speak and quick to listen." He used to always tell me that. I didn't know it was some famous quote. I forgot who said that shit, but I thought he made it up. And when I told somebody that, it was like, "Oh, such and such said," it." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know that." But that's some of the realest shit I've ever heard. Like be quick to listen and slow to speak.
Mm-hmm.
In every situation, I apply that.
Yeah. Well, it was, of course, a pleasure. I'll talk to you later. Good night to you and your family. And everybody in the chat and who will be listening in the future. Y'all,
Well, before you get off real quick, do you know what that was? That was from the Bible, James 1 verse 19.
oh wait, let me text that to myself. James 1:19.
Yep. It say
Okay.
the full version reads, "My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry."
Okay, thank you.
So everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. I didn't hear that part.
All right.
No one ever mentioned that, but it says this verse
You
encourages.
could definitely use that.
Now take this out. This is from the AI. So it say this verse encourages believers to be attentive to others, to choose their words carefully, and to manage their anger. So that's a dope ass quote. That's dope as hell. Now I'm gonna start fucking with the Bible thumpers. Like, didn't the Bible say? Damn, I didn't know that. I done read this probably, but I done read James probably about 33. Oh, okay, now I remember. Under the context, they were speaking to uh damn, I remember now. He was talking. I forget something happened, and it
You
was
was one of those that had a concordance and everything, huh?
yeah. Oh, I got a theology degree, so I mean, man.
That's what's up.
And my grandfather was a bishop. His name is on the Hall of Congress in Michigan. His name is down there. He was a bad man, went around teaching. But yeah, man, I don't want to do that. That's
Wonderful.
how I found my light, though. I mean, that's what I mean. It wasn't just Christianity; it was spirituality. It's just me practicing all these different religions and spiritual systems is how I get clarity of what life is. So I don't subscribe to none of it. I use all of it. I can't put myself in a box and say one thing works or this works or I don't do all that. I use anything that's useful. So if it comes from the Bible, the Quran, if it comes from even a Gnostic text, if it's useful for me, I'm gonna use it.
Of course.
People get mad at that shit, but I'm like, hey, I ain't telling you to do it. I'm just telling you what I do. You ask, I'm telling you. Like I use everything if it's useful. That's what it's here for me to use. But yeah, let me get my butt off here. I'm gonna keep talking.
I know,
I done
right? That's
stopped you
what we
from
do when
I
we
done
sleepy.
stopped you. I done stopped you from getting down twice. My bad, but yeah, I'm gonna get off here. I appreciate you coming up and rocking out with me.
All right. God bless us all. Thank you too.
You have a good one, though.
Thank you. You too.
Hey man, shout out to everybody who came through in the chat. I appreciate you. I know I've been off for a couple days. Just chilling with the family. My wife had 4 days off, and we made the best out of it. You know, um, that's how I care about how I feel. Is I do things that make me feel good. That, spending time with the family makes me feel great. So, um, yeah, but I get some members only live. Look, my membership's only $1.99 a month. It ain't every day. It ain't every hour. It's $1.99 a month. Go ahead and get that. Cause I got some content that's only gonna be members only, and a lot of it is gonna do with behavior and personality. So hopefully y'all enjoy that. I'm trying to push out content for members because I ain't gonna lie, I want to entice people to become members to the channel. So I got to offer you something. So I got some content coming specifically for the members. Um, I'm not even gonna talk about it. I'm not doing no after show or nothing. It's strictly members. If you ain't got a membership, then you ain't got access to it. But it's gonna be some good focused content. So definitely check that out. I think I'm gonna do the first one. I was planning on doing it Sunday, but like I said, my schedule, we found more fun things to do. So I didn't even get the time to sit down and build it. So I'm probably gonna take tomorrow off, and then I have it ready Thursday, the first member. So, but I'm gonna try to do is a 3-part series about emotional intelligence. Is the first one. Then I'm gonna talk about behavior, creating new behavior. So the first is gonna be 3 videos about emotional intelligence, and then the 4th video is gonna be about creating behavior. So, like I said, it's gonna be focused content. So if y'all interested in any of that, definitely check it out. I'm gonna do something to promote it so people know. But y'all know what I always say: care about how you feel. These are conversations that build nations. And if I say anything that resonated with you, do me a favor: hit that share button, tell somebody, help you spread the word. But until next time, we
And do it for the 9.
What up, 9?
Acknowledge me!
They've been telling y'all love, and I came to tell y'all right. The way you feel influences the way you think, and the way you think dictates the actions you take.
You there, sitting at home, acknowledge me.
When I move, is it a quick rumble? I won't ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.